One. Oh.
Can I just say,
going live.
we actually have no real idea at the moment it goes live. So, hello everybody. It's great to see you. It's really quite warm up here in the loft with Weir Yard.
Just a bit.
But you already knew that. Here in the UK, we've had what is probably the hottest day of the year so far. Certainly where I was, it got up to, I saw 31 degrees centigrade. And the humidity is through the roof. But we have braved the loft. And our ice pack has melted. It's amazing, isn't it? You try and defrost a turkey. It takes days. You get a load of frozen water and it's defrosted in 20 minutes. So it's great to see you. I hope I find you well. Today we're going to be talking about heat and modelling. Is it possible to model in this heat? And well, love to hear from you throughout the show, but do hit that like button. Share the stream to social media as well, let other people know about the Monday Club. Accept no substitute. And if you haven't already done so, then do hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. But let's get to it and roll VT. Let's see if it works this year. This week.
Well done.
It's so hot. I'm mixing all my words up.
Welcome to the Monday Club, your online model rail club for all the news, gossip, layout tours and more with your host, broadcaster and model maker, Jennifer Kirk.
So, it's great to see you, and I do hope that you're well. We don't actually have a thermometer up here, but if we did, so we've got Sarah Davies, Richard Swiderski, Patrick Ling, Jerry BVR, Flymo Chairman 1, Russell Benton. There's thunder and lightning this morning. Oh,
Thunderbolt and lightning, very, very frightening indeed. Gronky,
Zantec, Valleys 56XX, Dr. Debs, Rick Morley. Sorry, Dr. Deb. I'm calling you Dr. Debs. It's just easier than reading out the full thing. Iron Horse Railways. Hope you're well. Iron Horse has been struggling a bit, so I do
get
hope
well
that
soon
you're well.
And keep on gronking.
Absolutely. Oswestry Road, TMD, Ruben Ashwell, Wamgot, Patrick Ling, Rick Morley, Dave Scott Railways, Nick Garolimo, Harry Sedgwick, Marcus Muggins says greetings Earthlings from Planet Muggins. Dib. Anaya Ariti, hello to you. Little Britain says, is that a new intro?
Yep.
No, well,
Couple of weeks old now.
3B Rail, AD Pullen, Clive Engage, Jennifer Horton, Nick at Bletchton High Level, Ben Tullett, 3B Rail, Caroline Rogers, Ham Shackleton, Rawstone Model Railway, Adrian Cooney, Smallwood Junction, Yaharix has got to 31.2 degrees C in the shade in the back garden today. It's just oppressive, and it's the humidity. Now, I know that over in the US, there's places like Arizona and Nevada and Utah where people are going 31 degrees centigrade. First of all, we don't use that communist stuff over here. But you know, it's like however many hundred Fahrenheit it is. They get it hotter, yes, but it's humid over here, and we don't tend to have air conditioning. Air conditioning is very much a newfangled thing over here. It's not that we're still in black and white or anything. Nope, we got colour a little while ago. But no, air conditioning isn't something that historically we've tended to use in the UK. It's crept into commercial buildings a little bit. Cars started getting it as standard probably from about 2005, something like that. So it's still relatively new in the grand scheme of things. You could get it as an optional extra going way, way back, but very expensive. And certainly, I'm not aware of any cars from like the 1980s or before that came with air conditioning, unless you were buying something very high end, like a Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow. Apparently sound's cutting out every other word. Is anybody else? I think that might be at your end, Yaharik. I don't sound okay. If out of alignment division here, we don't know what's causing that. Marcus Muggins says Death Valley, California is very hot this time of year, I believe, but it's a dry heat, so as long as you're drinking plenty of water, it's not too bad. Martin Shipman says evening one and all. Andy Fryers Junction says we have aircon in the shop. It's called opening the front door and back door and letting a breeze blow through. Yeah, that was the thing that in my old Volvo, I have what I call 240 air conditioning. It's not that it's a Volvo 240, but basically 240 air conditioning, you can use it in any car. It comes as standard, you believe it or not, with every single car that has ever been sold. And how it works is you wind down two windows and then you drive at 40 miles an hour. Sounds fine here, says Richard Swiderski.
That's a nice opposition to 420 air conditioning where you just blaze it.
Blaze it.
Okay. If you don't know 420, you don't need to know.
What's it from? What's
It's from
culture?
the American Police Criminal Code.
Is it what 420 is? I know 10-4.
It's about 420 is a call sign for someone having narcotics. 420, blaze it. Oh, baby.
Ah, right. Fire up the Bong Squad.
Wow, how are you not knowing this?
I don't know. It sounds. Everybody else sounds working. So, Harry, I think that's at your end.
Video out of sync, but not stuttering.
Retro Ramble says, "Hey up, sorry I'm late."
Sync is fine, sound is fine.
Gandalf, late. Oh, here he comes.
A Monday clubber is never late to the wagons, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they need to.
Thanks, Gandalf. DJ Sarah Hall says, yeah, 420 is the code for weed. And Flymo Chairman 1 says, yes, Series 3 AC is go faster. Oh, man.
Okay, everyone's saying that sound is breaking up. I'll check.
Is it? Is there any news, says Patrick Ling? Right, well...
Jen, what's in the news? Also, do we have a sponsor?
Yes, we do have a sponsor. So we'll have a blast from the sponsor first, and then I'll share with you the news. The Monday Club is proudly sponsored by TMC, the Model Centre. Check them out at themodelcentre.com. The website features extensive stocks of new models as well as selective pre-owned items where you can track down that bargain you've always wanted. Pre-order with confidence all of the forthcoming models from all the manufacturers. TMC also offer a renumbering and renaming service so you can get the exact identity of locomotive that you want. Why not also check out their value weathering, or go for something incredibly special with their bespoke service where you can choose from a more extensive weathered look right through to custom graffiti either off the peg or to a design of your choice. Check out TMC today at themodelcentre.com and start your model journey. So, welcome back, and a big thank you to TMC, the Model Centre, for making it possible for us to crack a window and let some of the heat out. I'll be honest, there are no windows up here. People have said, oh, you need a window in your loft. But you have a window, it brings all sorts of other things with it, like you have to clean it, and you get sun fading and stuff. And also, because it's an old house, the joists that the roof is made of aren't a normal distance apart, so getting a Velux put in is a really difficult thing.
No one said a Velux, they just said put a hole in your roof.
Well, that's even worse, isn't it? So anyway, news. First of all, I'll do them in the order they came into my inbox. Acura Scale have announced. Let me just check. I'm not breaking the embargo. Oh dear, I should.
So while she just talks about that,
I just suddenly, because I know there's one thing I've been told about that.
has an embargo. You are a menace to society. You know that. Yes, she does. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is very, very hot at the moment, and that's what's brought us to ask about whether you guys think it's too hot to actually do any modelling. We're not talking about just sitting and playing with the locomotives, because we can do that, but is it too hot to model? Because I genuinely think at some point it gets too hot to paint, and it gets too hot to put glue down properly.
Yeah, I think also it's just not pleasant. If you're not enjoying yourself, then the hobby is not fun. But anyway, no, actually, the embargo is good. So curious, it's like there's one that I can't tell you about. I don't think I'm even allowed to tell you who's making an announcement. There's so much intrigue in this model railway world.
I've heard one rumour.
Yeah,
that, there may be another Monday Club wagon.
Have you actually done the design I asked you for that you promised you'd do today?
Not yet.
See this? This is what happens if you pay people nothing. Beverage of choice, by the way, is alcohol-free Peroni.
Yeah. Zero. No alcohol. So YouTube algorithm, don't worry.
Yeah, but it will misidentify it. Right. Anyway, meanwhile, back at the ranch. Acura Scale have announced new cut-down HYA wagons in 00. These are going to be in GB Rail Freight Blue livery. So there's those, and also we do have. Where's it gone? We've also got. Let me just double check the embargo on this. No, the embargo's gone past, so we're good. N-gauge versions of the A5s. So, really great model actually. This is from Sonic Models, via Rails of Sheffield. Really great model in 00. So they've announced that they're going to be doing these in N-gauge as well. So I would suggest get your orders in fairly quick if this is a must-have model. We saw the Great Central Railway and also the lined LNER livery seem to be proving very, very popular in 00 gauge, so much so actually that Sonic's also doing another run in 00 gauge. I believe they're new identities, different liveries, including the very popular Great Central Railway livery. So it says Dinmore Junction on the road says that's not 0, it's 00. Bit of
I like it. 00 beers for 00 people.
Yeah, Russell Benton, actually, I see alcohol-free wine and certainly spirits. Like what? Alcohol-free gin? That's just water, isn't it?
Flavoured water.
Oh, like alcohol-free vodka. It's like how? Alcohol vodka's just like basically alcohol and water. But alcohol-free beer actually is pretty good.
Because it got very close to the original taste.
Yeah. Nudge says, hello, everyone. And that suggests a degree of lateness. Hold on.
A Monday clubber is never late to the wagons, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks, Gandalf. Gosh, you crept in there. It was almost like you heard that there were biscuits, but if you made a noise, the biscuits would run away. John Copping says,
I've already got them.
John Copping says, I have no problem modelling in this heat. I just slap on the bikini and let the neighbours take pictures. Oh, yeah, I had a bikini. It's seen better days and smaller body. Alcohol-free Alco Pop, says Sarah Davis. That's just council pop, isn't it?
That's just lemonade.
Yeah, Ben Tullett says Brooklyn alcohol-free lager is nice to drink. Not one that we get over here, but certainly I bet it is quite nice. Dave Holloway, alcohol-free vodka. That's just potato juice.
Yep.
Yes, it's like, freshly squeezed. Trevor Veal says, good evening all. Good evening to you. And
Good evening all.
Gandalf did what, says Iron Horse Railways. Don't worry. those biscuits, I didn't really want them anyway. They've been hanging around here all week in the heat and the humidity.
They were lovely. I drank them.
They were going green.
They're meant to be green. They're mint.
No, they weren't. Machine NZ says, "Hi, Jenny and Zoe. A degree of lateness."
A Monday clubber is never late to the wagons, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks, Gandalf. Russell Benton asks, "How about Pico TT120 set trackers news?" We talked about that last week. That was last week.
Yeah.
We mentioned that last week, along with the signals. Actually, the signals did look really, really good.
British Railroad enthusiast says, "Zoe, do you still have that American steam locomotive?" Yeah.
The N gauge one?
I don't get rid of anything.
I've got the HO one, actually. Somebody sent me a 484 Niagara NYC. Still got it. Do occasionally run it. I should get it out from time to time.
Hey!
But
That's what she said.
But Chris says, "Evening on this hot day. Quick question. Which is the best DCC chip for non-DCC ready locos?" To be honest,
I'm sorry. I was going to show you the American stuff, but I can't reach.
yeah, leave it alone. I don't like it when you start messing
What if I
about.
just knocked into...
Exactly. You might. Oh, look what you. See, this is why I don't like you roaming about over
I'm
here.
not Roman. I'm British.
But, oh, apparently Ben Tullett says you can get the Brooklyn beers here in the UK. Got some from the co-op near me.
Cool.
Best chip.
Our co-op doesn't stock that stuff.
Best chip for non-DCC ready locos. To be honest, most brands are fine. Trainomatic, always good. I find you don't need to mess about with the CVs with those. Highly recommended.
Very good for just plug and play.
Zen Black are also good. AE models, Zemo, ESU as well, and they do more than just sound. It's a common misconception that Zemo and ESU only do sound decoders. Actually, they've got a full range of regular decoders as well. Soundtracks is good too. British Railroad enthusiast. It wouldn't be today. It'd be another day that I'd put it on. Because the couplings are different. It's quite a big job to
you have to
swap
couplings.
stuff around. Peachy TT120 says, "Not near enough space in that loft for roaming." Yeah, it's deceptively. It looks bigger on screen than it actually is. I mean, it's a fairly nice sized space.
It's a decent.
Don't get me wrong. Most people would be like, "Oh yeah, I'd love a space that big," but actually, it's not as big as people expect it to be when they come and visit. But that's fine. Raymond Legg says, "Be wary of knockoff Chinese decoders." Yes,
we've all
there's
had
a particular brand, and bear in mind a lot of decoders are made in China. It's not an issue being made in China.
It's the knockoff ones.
There's a particular one that treats IP like a game of pin the tail on the donkey. And they're not very good, and I know that they're not very good because they use the firmware of that was pinched from a very, very older a decoder from another manufacturer who is still very annoyed about the theft.
One that was basically not finished.
Well, no, it had some issues.
Yeah.
But because the Chinese particular brand that's making these is still making those, it's got all of the flaws that this particular brand of decoder 15 years ago had.
Yeah, we all have. It doesn't matter what hobby you're in. There's someone producing knockoffs.
Not Lobia Model World. Big hello to you, Les. Who let you out of the modelling dungeon? Won't have any cash to splash at the Loughborough show though. Oh man. It's a shame actually going to a show and not being able to spend anything. I mean, I've been to shows and not spent anything on bits of it. It just hasn't been anything that took my fancy. But the idea of going there knowing that you can't buy anything is like, sorry about that, Les. I said that like it was my fault. Right, Stevie Film says, when you go in a 4mm equals 1 foot's TARDIS, you'll find Jenny's loft. Yeah, we're in there. So I think somebody did spot the TARDIS. So I think...
Oh, several people spotted the TARDIS.
I'm just looking in there. I think people have spotted both of them. I don't know, where is the other one?
So. The other one is on I think it's on its travels.
Is it? What have you done with it?
No, that's what people were saying. It was on its travels. I don't know where it is.
Oh, so...
I thought you knew.
No.
Is it still hiding?
I'll be honest, I can't remember where...
It's still hiding down there?
I don't know.
Behind that signal box?
No. You've got me thinking now. I'm not sure where one of them... I know where one of them is. I think they've spotted the one in the wagon that's in the sidings that will be visible on that scene. But you've got me thinking now. Where is the other one?
I don't know. I do notice that you've licked my N-gauge fountains, though.
I put them together. So
I put them together.
Well, I stuck them to my model. It's behind you, says New Model Railway. This isn't pantomime. We're not going to get Dick Whittington and his streets paved with gold. He was a mug, wasn't he? Did anybody else sit through pantomime?
Turn again, Whittington, Lord Mayor of London.
Didn't anybody else think that some of these people were utter mugs in
well, they had to be, otherwise the pantomime wouldn't work.
It's like, Jack and the Beanstalk. What a wally!
I'll sell this cow for beans.
For magic beans.
Lots of beans.
I mean, it's like in the original book. Like now, the book with the little stories and stuff in that I had as a kid. It was slightly less PC, shall we say, and he got thrashed with a leather strap in the version that I had as a kid for being so utterly stupid.
Well, yeah, that's how. I genuinely don't know where the other
By the
TARDIS
water
is.
tower, says Wiven Model Railway. Water tower. You got it?
No.
Mind thyself.
I minded myself once. Didn't get much else done that
By
day.
the water tower. Nope.
We don't remember where we put it.
We don't
That's
know where
amazing.
we put it. There's only one water tower, and it's not by it. This is most peculiar. This.
The Doctor's gone on his journeys.
Oh, wait a minute! It's hiding in plain sight.
Oh, right, okay.
It's next to the Gronk.
Oh, the watering tower.
Yeah, Jenny, any news on the HM7000 6-pin, says Peachy TT120. Sadly, not at the moment. I don't know whether I'm supposed to keep quiet about it, but no, I've seen the prototype of the 6-pin when we visited
Didn't you lick
Hornet.
it?
I did not lick it. I am not 4 years old. Oh, it's mine now. You don't want it back now. Look, it's got my spit on it and everything. I'll just take this away. No. Yeah, we found the TARDIS.
No, yeah.
Behind the Gronk, Ham Shackleton, it says, said that ages ago, behind the Gronk.
We might have said it, but we weren't listening.
Tim Maslin, actually, it's interesting you bring that up. Because he says, which newly announced Class 0809 will you be getting?
None.
I'm sad to say that actually, having seen the prices, and this is a personal choice. I know that manufacturing in China, it is an expensive business for a variety of reasons. We showed this when I did the Black 5 assemblies. A lot of work goes into these very detailed models, but I'll be honest, the price is too expensive for me given how many Gronks I've already got in my collection. I was tempted by the Rail Blue 09 and the BR Green Weathered 08 with the tops number, but the problem is that I can't justify spending that kind of money when you already have, I think, at last count, it's about 15 15 of the various 08, 09. I've got an 11, and of course I've got the Mega Gronk 13. Mega Gronk, Mega Gronk, Mega Gronk. Hashtag not a cult for legal and tax purposes. But there are rumours that at least one, possibly two, other manufacturers are also going to be bringing out their own Class 08. And I'm tempted to wait and see what happens, because a little bit of competition is quite good at bringing the prices down. Now, that's not necessarily good for the manufacturers who've invested a lot of money and things, but quite frankly, at the moment, I cannot justify the prices being asked.
I have to admit, where's it gone? So, yeah, Richard Knowles says, I'm holding out for a Curaskill to produce their own Gronk. My head just went, I need a shunter. I'm holding out for a Curaskill to produce a Gronk. It's gotta be squat, and it's gotta say Gronk, and it's gotta run
Okay. Warbler Productions, I would love one of the new 08s. Unfortunately, I can't afford one as my hours at work have been cut. And I think that this is something that's going to come up time and time again, that money is tight. Ben Tellett says, I think China are currently in a recession that they don't wish to admit.
A lot of places are in a
recession.
recession.
There's lots of companies that are leaving or closing down in China. I think the problem is that a lot of businesses, a lot of manufacturing especially, kind of chases the low wage. And we saw this when a lot of manufacturing started to leave the UK long before the model railway industry did. And I can remember when stuff was being made in Thailand, in Turkey, Taiwan, even Japan at one point was like the place to manufacture for cheap. And I think it's just simply a case of it's very unfortunate, but it's almost like a lot of our cheap products are predicated on somebody not getting paid a lot of money.
Our high standard of living requires the exploitation of people who are in countries that can't say no.
Oh, did you bring any more of those up there?
I will in a minute. Just realised that the American steam locomotive in Engage isn't down on that shelf.
I know it wasn't. I don't know what you were looking for.
So,
Stevie Film says, money is tight. We were looking at possible vacations and a 9-day med cruise was sold out. There are still people with money, but
so this is, yes.
I think not enough to sustain the business model of manufacturing, I think.
Yes, absolutely.
As wages go up. I mean, we've already talked about this, the impossibility of products being made at a price that people are prepared to pay in the UK. It's not that we can't make them, and we proved that you can make them. It's just in terms of the price point, they're far more expensive than people are prepared to pay.
Yeah, it's like...
what are you doing?
For example, it's what we were talking about over the weekend. Games Workshop. Games Workshop makes all of their stuff
they're all made in Nottingham.
They're made in Nottingham. Designed, made, manufactured, distributed, everything in Nottingham.
TARDIS has been spotted.
And I'll tell you now, Games Workshop has a reputation for being damn expensive. Their models, I got 10 figures for £40.
Russell Benton says
that's just how it is. If you want stuff in the UK, it's going to be expensive.
Joshua W56 says, hi everyone, I've been feeling too hot lately. Oh, hence the title of the stream take. Is it too hot to model?
I genuinely think it is to a certain extent.
And now, I've been doing a few bits of tinkering. I've actually enjoyed not being pedal to the metal, filming YouTube videos.
That has been a big boom.
I've actually done things for me rather than for filming. And one of the things I've done is slow acting point motors. I've added some. Excuse me. I've actually replaced some of. There's a lot of gas in that bit. Yep. I've replaced some of the solenoid point motors with slow acting point motors that I had. I had 5 in stock for various reasons, And I thought, look, it's about time that I went ahead and actually fitted these. So I spent a couple of days over the weekend fitting slow-acting cobalt point motors, and actually I've fallen in love with them. But at times it was incredibly hot, and one of the things that I actually find, particularly when you're dealing with electrics, is when you get very hot and you get slightly sweaty, your sweat contains salts.
Mm-hmm.
So when you bridge the rails and the power is on, you get a shock. And it's also possible to get all sorts of tingly little shocks that you wouldn't normally get.
Yeah, so at some point you've got to think, is it worth it? Maybe wearing gloves, but hey, who wants to be wearing gloves all the time?
I know, I'll keep my hands really, really warm.
Yeah.
Too hot and bothered here as well, says Richard Knowles. Fly My Chairman one says, we thought £200 was a lot, Jennifer.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember when the first locomotive, the ready-to-run RRP price went over £100, and I think
I remember people were saying, "Oof, that's not gonna."
Yeah, I remember. I mean,
last.
this is the flip side of the coin. I remember people saying, "Oh, nobody will buy a model for over £100," and it was the Bachmann 7F, the SDJR 7F 280. And its RRP was something like £103 or £104. And I can remember that being the first locomotive ready to run in the UK from the major manufacturers that went over £100. And that prophecy that, oh, it won't sell, didn't come true. But we're seeing now a lot of sales. And I don't know... Yeah, I'd love another drink. I don't know what this truly means for the hobby, because we're seeing so many sales, and if these items were selling at the prices that they come out at, surely there wouldn't be sales.
There wouldn't be need.
Why would you put something on sale if it's selling really well? You wouldn't need to. So I do start to find myself wondering if all these, like flash sale, special.
Too much, 'cause we're doing a video website.
Yeah, we've got a video coming out on this, but it does make me wonder how well things really are selling. But yeah, to go to circle and meander round on this long-winded trek to the new Class 08s and 09s from Bachmann. I'm finding myself actually thinking I'll wait for them to go into the sales. And I think that is dangerous for the manufacturers to be in a situation where people are thinking that. They are thinking, I'll just wait until it's in the sale and I'll get it cheaper. Because that then becomes self-fulfilling. Because if everybody goes, oh, I'll just wait for it to be in the sale so they don't buy it, then it goes into the sale. Peter Jackson Sheila Heath says, how old is that 76 at the back of the MPD, Jenny? It looks very dusty, or whether it's weathered. It's factory weathered. It's 76022. It's the Hellion model that was done. They did as a special commission for a shop I won't name because I find their customer service to be atrocious. But the Class 77 and Class 76 were commissioned. Lovely models. And I was able to pick that one up second-hand, already DCC fitted. And it's a really good runner, actually. New model railway says Bachmann shouldn't be so greedy in the first place. Well,
I don't think it's greedy. I really don't.
No, I think, I know that Bachmann have... There's a lot of criteria that goes into setting the price. And, any business takes a view... What will the market stand? And but with model rail stuff, you've also got a lot of money that has to be recouped from the first production run, and that is expensive. Cost of manufacturing is expensive, and I suppose I know I rail against people who's like, oh, the hobby is dying. The hobby is not dying, but it is definitely changing. And the honest truth is that it will evolve, it will change, and it will adapt, and it will still be successful.
Resistance is futile.
Yeah, we've seen the rise and fall of manufacturers. We have seen manufacturers go bust. Some very big ones. If you go back far enough, I'm thinking in particular Hornby 00. Big casualty of the 60s. But there's been a lot of changes in the industry, and it's always adapted and it's always survived. But I think that the problem is that models are getting more and more niche, in that the production runs are smaller and smaller. So I suppose ultimately you'll have to pre-order, otherwise you'll miss out. Yeah. And is that sustainable? I mean, we're already seeing in the US the likes of I think Rapido Trains in the US it's almost like a subscription model where you commit to buying a particular model that they propose, but it only gets made if it reaches the break-even point.
I've seen this a lot with companies these days, especially niche model collectors. Like Hasbro has what's called a HasLab, where it's essentially, this is the design we're thinking of doing.
Yeah.
Do you think you guys would buy it? And if enough people say yes and put a deposit down, it gets made. But if not enough people do, you get your deposit back. Lego does the same thing with Foundry or something like that.
Yeah, and Stevie Film, yes, definitely. Lima, the behemoth of the 80s and 90s, now almost no more. And Ben Tullett says, wonder if someone will buy Mammoth. I think the name definitely.
So. I hope so, because
I suspect that production may move overseas for Mammoth. Might not, but I suspect that what might happen is a company will buy Mammoth and the assets.
I wouldn't be surprised if Hornby buys it and just has the name.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. 3B Rail says, rails of a Hellion Class 25 Ethel, unpowered for 149.50, reduced from 229, but this is unpowered and still far too expensive given this. And I remember talking with Ben Jones about these, Ben Jones from Hellion, and he said that, with hindsight, specifying them without a motor in was probably not sensible, because in terms of reducing the manufacturing cost, it doesn't actually make them that much cheaper, if at all. And
because if you think about it, what is it? You've got your tooling for the case, and then what else? You've got a few pennies here and there for the pieces that go at the motor.
Yeah, you basically got, because it's still got circuit boards and lights. They're all still in there. It's still got the pickups. And you're having to assemble it differently from a suite of common parts. So the reality was, I think he said it might save like £1.
It's not worth it
in terms of the cost. And with hindsight, really, to be honest, they'll double head just fine with a regular locomotive.
Saving £1 to lose how many in sales?
It has struggled to sell, I must admit. I think the fact that, and it's not just the Ethels actually, when you look around, there's a lot of the other 25s with motors in deals at the moment. And I'm actually quite tempted, if it wasn't for the fact I've got loads of Class 25s in Tops Blue, I was quite tempted. I think 25904, 25323 or 301. There's several of the Hellion 25s with some really good deals. I know Kerno Models, Rails, TMC, they've all got these deals. Mike Wilson says, in my interest, there's an increase in people doing runs of limited models that are 3D printed. Do you see in the future there will be more 3D shells to fit generic running units? Yeah, we're seeing this more and more. There's definitely companies out there that do various 3D printed body shells that are designed to fit straight onto a donor chassis. But I think that, you've still got the question of, well, the donor chassis, you got to pick those up. Actually, that does remind me, not the donor chassis thing, but it's just reminded me. I need to thank somebody who sent me a model.
They did.
Yes, which is unfortunately downstairs, so I can't show you. It's a terrier. It's a Daypole terrier.
Do you want me to go and get it?
Yeah, go and get it.
Where is it?
It'll be still in the lounge.
Okay.
So
before I go though, the 3D printed thing. 3D printing is coming on in leaps and bounds. It's not going to be long until you can print in colour in a really high quality. At which point it comes down to how much detail you can fit onto it, and whether you can adapt from there as to whether 3D printing becomes a big thing. I'll go and have a look at that.
Hold on, I'm going to press the button.
Okay.
So so Simon Pitcher. So I'd like to send a huge thank you to Simon Pitcher, who's very, very kindly sent to the channel a Daypole. It's actually a limited edition Daypole 00 gauge terrier, probably from, I'd say, 1990s. It's in lovely condition. It's actually a version I wasn't even aware of, and it's quite interesting that Daypole seem to have done some very, very limited run special editions back in the day. I'd say probably late 80s, early 90s. And this terrier is one of those. But I've since found out, actually, there's some of the pugs as well. They did a Lancashire and Yorkshire liveried pug as a very, very strict limited edition. Different running number. And it had the little smoke deflector for running under the Liverpool overhead railway that some of the real pugs had back in the day, based at Bank Hall Shed. And that was, and I didn't even know about that. Some of these models, it's like they were so limited that there's no real record of them. So here we are. This is what Simon Pitcher has very, very generously sent in to the channel. Old style Daypole box. This is the David Boyle period, so really quite early. We've got it's actually exactly the same form factor of box that the wagons came in.
Wow.
It's amazing just how bloated packaging became.
For those asking, this aircraft here is a Bristol Bulldog. I built that on the stream not long ago.
So there we go, look at that. It comes with a laminated limited edition certificate.
Wow.
So this is number 81 of 100. And it says, this certificate is issued by Daypole Model Railways Limited and certifies that this locomotive, LBSC Terrier SR Bullied Wartime Livery with Sunshine lettering, is numbered 81 of 100. And let's just get this out of the box. The paint's gone a bit brittle in places.
It is almost 40.
Yeah, just on the chassis, some of the paint's lifted, but you're never going to see that. But it's actually, this livery really does suit the older Daypole Terrier. So a huge thank you to Simon Pitcher for very, very generously sending that in. Definitely as a livery, I don't have any version of Terrier. And it looks by the wheels to have never really run at all. So really impressed by that. Thank you so much. Oh my word, Simon Pitcher, the man himself, very, very generously has donated $9.99 on the super chat. Oh my word, your generosity knows no bounds. Thank you so much. Very generously donated $9.99 on the super chat and says, more than welcome, Jen and Zoe. Oh, thank you so much. Valley's 56XX says 3D prints can be as detailed as you like if you have a decent 3D printer.
But that's my point. At some point, it's going to become standard that even the budget ones are going to be able to do high detail.
I've said again and again that this is where the replicators in Star Trek, this is how they
This is where they start, yeah.
And you know, isn't that the truth? That in time, maybe, what we will see is you don't so much buy a model as you buy the right to print that model, and then your household replicator just kind of creates it. It goes, and there it is, and it's like, thank you very much. So nobody has to assemble it. And I don't know, would it bring the prices down? I don't know, because there's
No,
I'll
guarantee you right now it won't, and I can tell you why. Because digital games were supposed to be cheaper than going out and buying a game, and they weren't, and they never are.
And I think, there's an element of, and this is just like, let's not beat around the bush. This is how commercial economics works. You will charge what you believe the market can stand, and there's lots of very complex formulae about working out what price to charge to actually get the best return.
Yes.
Because if you charge too little from your point of view,
then people will think that, it mustn't be worth it.
Well, yeah, there's an element that you devalue your product. You create a perception that it's not worth what you're charging, and you destroy that premium feel. And that's one of the main reasons why the likes of Ferrari, Lamborghini, and Rolls-Royce and Bentley, all of these marks, there is an element in the pricing that is to keep the product perception as being exclusive and premium. But Mike Wilson says one of the main 3D printing companies has gone bust. Yes, Shapeways, partly down to the number of household-based 3D printers there are out there. Yeah, and the thing is, I guess, this is the new frontier. It's a bit like, I remember when CD burners were newfangled, nobody really had them. So if you had a CD burner, you were suddenly everybody's friend because they wanted albums and games copying. But then, of course, it evolved to the point where everybody had them. So there was no market in, you start out, you'd have people who'd be like, oh yes, for a £5 I'll copy you X, Y, and Z. And then there was no market for that. It's like, no, I'll do it myself.
Yeah.
Dragon Johnston, big hello to you. Hope you're well. It's an element of lateness there. Gandalf is sweating away. He's got all those robes and that hat that he never takes off.
A Monday clubber is never late to the wagons, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks, Gandalf. And yeah, Iron Horse Railway says badge value. Says keeping it out of the hands of the riffraff, basically. That's all it is. This isn't for you, dirty poor person. I'd have said peasants. It's like, begone, peasants. But no, I mean, there's an element of that
is
with...
definitely getting clipped as a YouTube short. Jenny insults the plebs. Begone, peasant.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at things like supermarket own brand trainers versus like your Nikes and your Adidas and your Reeboks, is there actually much of a difference in cost in making each of those? I'd say actually there's not a huge difference, but you pay a lot for the name and the exclusivity and the perception of getting a premium product. So, as I was saying, there's a lot of a very advanced economics that goes into setting prices.
One of the less advanced ones, because we learn about that at GCSE business studies. It's just called market skimming. You set yourself up as a premium thing and you skim off the top.
Yeah, and it's basically you can make more money, and somebody has done these calculations at the manufacturers. They're not going into this bank going, I shall pick a number out of the air. It's not like that. Somebody has done the calculations and gone, right, well, it costs us this, so we need to sell them for at least this. But we believe if we sell them for this, whilst it might suppress the sales by an amount, our profit margin per unit is such that we still make more money than if we charge less and sell them all outright at that price.
Nintendo does the same thing in games, which is why you won't see first-party Nintendo stuff on sale.
Well, actually, Disney does much the same, and they've got a very curious thing where they don't. Disney doesn't do sales. What they will do is they will just recall the unsold stock.
Yeah, and it goes into the Disney vault.
Yeah.
And then if you want something, you buy it at their convenience when they release it for a short time.
Yeah, it'd be like a limited edition release of something that was out 10, 20 years before. And it's all about keeping the premium nature of the product.
Yeah.
This idea that you miss it, you miss out.
Absolutely. So we've had a question. I can't see who asked it because it's gone off the top.
Whoa, that's jumping.
It is a bit. The entire. Oh, the computer is crashing
How do you know it's crashing?
because nothing was moving there. Hello. Nope, it's back. Whatever was happening there, don't worry.
I'm going to press a
right.
button.
Okay, go on then.
Pressing a button. There we go. So, Dave Scott Railways, big hello to you. We've also got
Here we are.
British
This one.
Railway Enthusiast. Says, Zoe, will you build an N-scale American layout for your steam locomotive, and will you get more?
The advanced answer to that is both yes. At the moment, I'm about to do a box file on the Jenny Kirk channel. We were going to put it on JK2,
Yeah.
but to be honest with you, that was getting us more work than we had. So we're going to move it back onto the Jenny Kirk channel as another box file layout. So Jen and I are going to build it, and then after that, I've got a project for a seaside one. After that is another box file with the American stuff.
Big hello to John JMC, our guru of sound, who is late. Late, Gandalf. Late, I say.
A Monday clubber is never late to the wagons, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks, Gandalf.
It appears to be doing a
Big hello to
impression
Castle
of
Hill
Dumbledore.
Light Railways. And Iron Horse Railway says, Bankman are robbing us blind. No, that's not what I'm saying.
They're not.
What I'm trying to do is kind of explain why prices are the way they are. And, you know, this notion that somebody sat there going, let us rip them off. It doesn't happen. It honestly doesn't happen.
Well, it does, but it's not in standard commercial adventures. It's more in the place of Jimmy the Crim.
Or Elon Musk. I shall rip them off.
Oh, let's make a car that rots, and then sell it for a premium. And also, no angles.
What?
No curves, all angles.
SJ Dusty says evening, been lurking, so I'm not late. Yeah, that's fair. Peter Joyce says sorry, I must depart. Going to watch another episode of Whitstable Pearl. Has a few ships, but sorry, no trains.
Don't know what
And
Whitstable
Ben-
Pearl is.
Neither do I. A TV program, I'm guessing. Ben Tellett says quick call Billy Gates and his replacement software. Little Britain says Backman lost money last year.
Doesn't surprise me.
What you have to remember is that just because a company loses money in their accounts, that doesn't necessarily always mean that they've done badly.
Yeah.
There can be reasons for that.
Have a look at the last time a major Hollywood blockbuster actually made a profit.
There's a lot of things you can put against tax. A lot of things you can write down against tax.
Yep.
Business is as much about a game of economics as it is about making money.
It's Julian calculators, them and the tax man.
Yeah, and you know, it can sometimes be favourable in a business year to make a loss, and
Yes.
you actually set stuff against tax. So
Not just that, you can set your losses from a previous year against your profits of this year
Yeah.
if you've declared in the correct way. So,
Yeah.
it's one of the reasons why Donald Trump went bankrupt in the 90s and still made money. Because he got to set that off as a tax offset
only
for years
can I
afterwards.
just say, only the mega rich could make money out of being bankrupt.
Yeah.
Great Eastern Model Railway says everything is expensive these days, but if you really want it, you'll find a way, e.g. saving up or payment plans. Yes. And we've seen the growth in the payment plan. I've seen a lot of places offering...
A scale offer a decent one as well.
Yeah, a Curascale. But also there's a thing you can do with PayPal. You've bought some comedian tour tickets with it.
I have.
So there
Jen
are
and I are
ways
going
and
to see
means.
Steve Hofstadter, my favourite comedian.
Yes.
And I did a pay in 3, so 4 of us could go.
Yeah, and also There are shops that'll do a thing where you pay in installments, and then when you finish paying, you get the item. But it's
Americans call that layaway. They've been doing it for years.
well, wasn't it a thing over here as well? Layaway.
I think it used to be. It seemed to disappear when we got pushed into having credit cards.
Yeah. I don't. I think I've got a credit card. I've never used it.
I don't. I won't have one.
I had a credit card briefly when we were trying to get the mortgage, and apparently you needed a credit record, and not actually being in debt wasn't good enough.
Well, no,
So-
it's not about not being in debt. It's about showing in a very evidential way. Like, here's the official
Yeah, but the thing
documentation
was-
to say that I can pay back a debt. And then
I
you
said,
get the thing.
yeah, I've never been so stupid as to be in debt until now. Please give me some money. But so Dongit's Mother O says Australians call it lay-by.
I hear a lay-by is where you pull in, isn't it?
Yeah, and there's usually some kind of great greasy spoon,
Yeah.
a greasy spoon wobble box, and
perhaps a greasy person as well.
and a slightly suspicious smell of stale pea.
I said sorry for that.
Great Eastern Model Railways reminds us as well, you can pay in instalments at Great Eastern Models. And yeah, actually, it was you guys I was thinking about. And it's another great way of doing it. And Richard Knoll says another appeal with the Curascale is the lifetime warranty. And we're starting to see this. We're starting to see
Extra value added.
extra value for what you get.
Yeah.
And I do think that the Curascale lifetime warranty is something that is quite appealing. And I think, things like that do ease the paying price, because you think, well, I've got peace of mind. I'm not going to get told in 2-3 years' time, it's like, oh, it's out of warranty, your problem now, mate. It's one of the things, actually, that DCC Concepts has done for many, many years, lifetime warranty on a lot of their products. And as they point out, it's your lifetime, not some arbitrary figure.
They're going to feel right foolish when immortality arrives.
Yeah. Wamgot says, didn't Hattons do that? What, the pay in instalments? I'm not sure, to be honest.
I don't
They
remember,
may have
but I
done.
wouldn't say that they didn't, because I genuinely can't remember.
And Zantec says, I bought my Voyager in instalments. Valley's 56XX says, a Curascale are smashing the business model. 156
I have to admit,
Andrew
I
Shortbread Express says, hi Jenny and chat. Sorry,
Hello.
I'm late.
I have to admit, with the Curascale, I've never seen a company turn up in this hobby and be so liked so quickly for so long.
Yeah, for so long. I've seen companies turn up and be like talk of the town and can do no wrong for a while. There's always a honeymoon period, but a Curascale do seem to have done really, really well.
Beep, beep.
KMS Rail Tech says Growler Blackwood Engage layouts allow you to pay in instalments.
Yeah.
Wiven Model Railway says they used to have options in stores where you used to order things for Christmas, but you would pay in instalments throughout the year.
Oh, catalogues and all
yeah,
that.
K's catalogues. That used to be a thing.
Yeah.
Wiven Model Railway says Hornby offer pay in 3 instalments. And I think it is a great way of spreading the cost and making things affordable. And one of the things that I've learned in life, life skills, children. One of the things that I found is that if you set up to save regularly, you don't actually have to save a huge amount for it to actually build up to a nice little nest egg very, very quickly. And one of the things that I do is when I get paid from my day job, I have my bank actually shift that money instantly, not all, like an amount, I think it's set for £50 a week, moves it into a savings account. And the reason for this is if I never see it in my main account, I don't miss it. And I found that, 45 years old here, got a bit of life experience under my belt. Shut up, Mum. I know you're older and you've got more life experience, but I'm trying to be down with the kids here. But basically, £50 a week, I never see it in my current account, so it doesn't actually feel like a chore for that to go there. And very, very quickly, you can save up an amount of money that you can use to buy things that you want, be that holidays. I actually bought a car out of that account one time. And that was an odd experience because they get very confused when you buy a car, a brand new car at the dealership. And they go, hoo-hoo, this is the bit where we talk about finance deals and balloon payments. And you're like, no, sorry, I pay cash, thank you very much. What do you mean? And it's like, do you remember that concept? I give you money, you give me car. And it was like, apparently they made most of their money off the commission from the finance
Of course
deal.
they did.
So, Sarah Davis says, I do the same as that, Jenny. Started again last week. It lasted till Sunday. Sometimes it can be a bit hard. There are times when you have to dip into that account, but the fact that it's there is very useful. And so, for example, topical, because Sonic Models have announced that the A5, we've had a rerun in 00 gauge, and we've also got an announcement of an all-new N-gauge version of that.
I'm going to go and cancel my show.
Okay.
I'm melting, and I don't
It is
think I can
very,
do it.
very hot. And the sheen on me is...
Sheen on me.
When you're downstairs, do you remember that sprayer I got? Fill it with water and bring it back up.
Okay.
And we'll test out the water mist effect. It is incredibly hot up here, and I've kind of strayed from tonight's topic. We're supposed to be talking about the heat and that, but Values 56XX says, I used to sell Mercedes-Benz and it was all about the finance. Raymond Legg says, back when 1960s and mid-70s locos had decent gears and even canned motors. Anything after 1977 or so, with the exception of the GS4 steam locos where the nylon gear started. I see a lot of models from the 70s had the evils of the tender drive turned up. I hate tender drives. They just don't work. I don't know what the deal was with those. But quite frankly, it was a retrograde step. But there's a lot of stuff with split chassis. I remember split chassis being touted as being this like, oh, this is an amazing new feature. And now nobody will touch them because of all the issues with splitting axles and wearing out bearings and stuff. Flymo Chairman one says, I hadn't noticed till recently how much my daughter gave me to put aside for her. Impressive. She'd forgotten how much too. Yeah. Now, I've never saved more than the £50 every time I get paid. But I actually managed to get that fund to build up to the point where I could afford a brand new car off the forecourt and just bought it with, cleaned out the account. But you can save up for some surprisingly expensive things that way. It also means if something breaks, like if your fridge freezer dies, you've got a fund to go and buy another one without having any great issues. Jeff Hines says, my work gave out mist fans instead of fixing the air conditioning. That sounds a lot like my new car. I've been extolling the virtues of, I bought a brand new car off the forecourt. Yeah, that was quite a long time ago. That car now, it had air conditioning that worked really well when it was new. I need to get it fixed. At the moment, I'm driving around a car that has aircon that doesn't work, with the windows wound down and doing a bit of the old misting. But yeah, actually they are quite effective. Zantex says, tender drive is good if you have a transhaft of the main wheels, making an all-wheel drive unit. Yeah, I know what you're going on about. As for the motor intended, says Zantex, Dapple Britannia, not the best loco they've made. Trevor Veal says, I'm 76 and keep having to open new savings accounts. I see a fair amount each month. Richard Knowles says, I think split chassis and tender drives were made on the cheap. I wouldn't say they were made on the cheap, but I think there's a lot of these things that were touted as being, this is the future, this is new, improved. I remember when Delrin, a type of plastic, Delrin couplings were brought in, and the Delrin wheels for smooth, silent running came in on Hornby 00, and they went from the sintered iron, because it was 3-rail, it didn't really matter, to these plastic wheels. And I'll be honest with you, plastic wheels are a waste of space. But, they touted that as being an improvement. The Delrin plastic couplings were touted as an improvement. And actually they look big and oversized and hideous compared to the metal Pico Simplex couplings that came before. So not everything that is marketed as new and improved actually is improved. But yeah, at the moment, we have got a lot of heat here. I am absolutely roasting. We've got fans. The ice in the water bottle. There's actually still ice in there. I'm going to put that on. Oh, why do you? There's like a vein which ends up. It's basically between your legs. But I've got a bottle full of ice here, and that is cooling me down nicely. But yeah, it's really, really hot. And modelling is really difficult. Now, I did put in quite a few, well, 5 of the slow-acting point motors, the Cobalt IP Digital and IP Analog, but with the ADIA, the digital decoder that they work from. And actually, thoroughly enjoyed it. It's great to have a little project for myself. But what I've actually found in the heat is that's where a garden railway really does come in. What? Iron Horse Railway says that didn't look very savoury, Jenny. Behave yourself. Come on now. Behave yourself, Craig. Wamgok says, you've got fans. Yeah, a couple of them. Although Zoe keeps having this pointing at the computer. I don't think it does a huge amount. So I'm going to have it pointing at me because that does an awful lot more. Dr. Debs says, ooh, misses. We need the Kenneth Williams Memorial. Ooh, mate, I can't do his voice. Harry Markham Chapman says, get yourself an ice cold beer, both of you. Woohoo! Yeah, they are 0 alcohol, so it's not like I'll get absolutely drunk. But Dave Scott Railway says, yes, Mike, again, I've seen tracks being walked. Yeah. And that's the other thing as well you've got to watch out for, is that the heat can be quite devastating to your model. Now, up here in Weir Yard, I know it gets really hot, but this is nothing compared with how hot a loft can get. This room is fully lined with insulation. There's probably about 5 inches of that solid foam insulation, foil backed. It's all sealed in, it's lined. Insulation is a two-way street, so it keeps you warm in winter but also cooler in summer. So what you actually end up with here is that it's nowhere near as hot up here. No, the spray, not the... Oh, you Wally. You did that on purpose, didn't you?
Right.
Let's just see now.
So she's got 5 inches. Wahey!
There, like that.
Stop it.
There you go. There we go. Oh, that is actually quite refreshing. Whew. So we're going to glisten slightly more than usual. Oh, that is nice. Are there going to be videos?
We're going to try.
I suspect. Now, don't expect lots of videos because it is quite warm up here. What's wrong?
Soaked my electronic watch.
Oh yeah, you're yeah. Spaceboard also keeps the heat in as well, so Santa. Yeah, but have you ever been up in a loft that hasn't been lined? And I can remember coming up here in the height of summer to get something that was stored up here before it was converted, and it was like getting inside an industrial oven.
Here's the heat.
Yeah,
it's not hot.
Yeah, because all the heat rises. It's all.
So
up
my
here.
show is going on.
Okay, that's fine. Chobberton Junction, big hello to you. Jordan Hunter says, how to the motor this heat or even sunlight when running on a leg? The problem with the heat and model railways is expansion of the track. And actually, you could argue that now is the best time to lay your track because this is as hot as it gets.
That is true, yeah.
So if you lay your track in this sort of heat, just like strip down to a pair of undercrackers, keep yourself
Whoa.
cool. But if your loft is really hot at the moment, if you lay your track now, then that means that that actually it'll never buckle, because
Don't say never. Never say never.
yeah.
Excuse me.
Oswestry Road TMD says, what I like about Acura Scale is the variety of liveries. And I could say the same actually about, yes, I agree with you, but I like that with Bachmann as well. With the Class 08, I know we've moaned a little bit about price, but what's model railways without a bit of a moan about pricing? But I like the fact that Bachmann have brought out pretty much every livery now. It's the Class 08 is one of those locomotives that keeps on giving. And this has been one of my criticisms of Hornby, who've arguably had the better 08 model. Now, there's not a lot in it. The older Bachmann 08 is an amazing model, considering it's been around for like nearly 25 years now. It's definitely was well ahead of its time and has held its own. But the new liveries they've announced, provincial livery, do really like that. It's one I'll watch out for second-hand or in sales. But Hornby have kind of really struggled to put out a lot of liveries on their 08, which is an absolute shame because it is a lovely, lovely model. Gavin Blackburn says, but when it cools and the track contracts, you'll lose electrical connections everywhere. Not if you put droppers in. That's what the whole point of droppers is. And you've got fish plates to keep the alignment. So as long as you have plenty of rail joints, then actually all that will happen is you'll get a lot of clickety-clack as your trains go round. But you won't get any warping. And believe me, your track warping is far more damaging than having big rail joints in winter. But I can't recommend more highly that you insulate your loft or your shed. Sheds suffer the same as well.
Absolutely.
Anybody who's been in a shed in the height of summer. And the thing about sheds, you can get solar reflective paint to paint roofing felt. And I recommend this because not only does it keep the inside of your shed significantly cooler when the sun's on it, but it stops the roofing felt from degrading as well, because one of the killers of roofing felt is the expansion and contraction, and the huge changes in temperature, because with especially with the roofing felt that you put on stuff like sheds, it tends to stretch and contract and it rips around the nails, and that's where you get the leaks start. Solar reflective paint, it is quite expensive for a tin. You're probably paying about 40 quid for a tin, but a tin goes a long way. I did my shed with it and I've still got enough left to do it a second time. So, oh yes, ooh, refreshing. Tim Maslin says, the only reason I've ordered the new 09 is for the uncoupling system. But you only get the uncoupling system if you buy the full-on premium with sound, which is over £300 for a shunter. Now, I think that they will prove popular. I think the first run will definitely prove popular. But what's going to be quite interesting is there are rumoured to be one, possibly two other new 08s being developed in the market but not announced. Now, I could be completely wrong on this. Maybe people just blow smoke up my bottom. But
does that happen too often?
Yes, it does. Now, shh. It's a whole pile of shh with your name on it. I wonder whether there's some wriggle room built in. What happens if somebody else brings out a Gronk, a new-tooled Gronk, and they go, but we're going to do it for significantly less? Is there wiggle room built into Bachmann's prices to price match like they did with the 37 eventually, 66, things like that?
It's an interesting question.
What
and I don't know.
TARDIS sitting on the walkway of yard crane behind chat box, says Warbler Productions. Yes.
Well done. Well
Yeah.
spotted. I can't even remember where the other one is.
You put it in the train. It's already been spotted. It's doing the rounds in the coal train over there somewhere.
Is it?
Yeah, there it is. Oh, look, it's...
No, it isn't.
There, look.
No, it isn't.
No.
No, it isn't.
Not anymore.
Totally isn't that.
The
Totally
Growl
isn't
of
that.
Blackwood Engage layout says my shed roof is metal. You can still paint it with solar reflective paint.
Yes.
Technically, you could paint slates with it as well. I mean, your roof would look a bit funky, but there we go. Right.
Okay, so we've got our first video tonight.
Have we? Is it there already?
Yeah. We've got a message from Richard Swiderski who says, "Hi
Hello.
Jenny and Zoe, hope you're all
Hello.
both well. A video of my visit to Pete Waterman's Making Tracks 4.
Oh,
at
never
Chester Cathedral."
disappointing.
Yeah. So let's do this.
We went
Sarah
there.
Davis needs more screws. Way!
I missed the Wilkinson's pick and mix screw, but FYI, B&Q do pick and mix screws. They've stepped up. Very, very welcome. Price has gone up a bit. You would expect that, to be honest. I always thought that the Wilkinson's pick and mix screws were a little bit on the inexpensive side for what you got. It was an incredibly good deal.
They used to hate you.
Oh,
You'd come in and you'd take them all.
No,
I'm coming here and I'm having mad.
I was Queen Tetris. I was very good at making them all fit together in the bag so there was no empty space.
Yeah, there was no air in one of the bags that Jen took.
Yeah, pretty much.
Whoa.
Yeah, see, we went there when it was Making Tracks 3.
And it
we
didn't
went
look
with...
like that at 7 o'clock in the morning when we arrived.
Who did we go with? Was it Craig?
It was Craig.
Yeah, we went with Craig.
Yeah.
And really, really good. Oh, this brings back memories.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I got a photo of him appearing to shake hands with a statue.
Yes, I remember. So, it's always well worth it, actually. If you're in the area, then do go and check it out. You won't be disappointed.
This is a really interesting model. But it always annoys me when you're stood behind the rope and people walk past in front.
Yeah,
And encourage their kids to do the same.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's like control your kid. When I was a kid, I'd have been thrashed if
Yeah.
I'd have done that. It'd be like, get this side of the rope. The rope's there for a reason.
Yeah. And these days it's like these parents just don't parent.
And they'll watch whilst their kid like
Yeah.
and tries to break stuff. But no, this is going to be interesting. So I'm guessing that this will tack on to Making Tracks 1, 2 and 3. I have wondered whether this is going to be so rather than be longer length, they're actually going to bring the scenic section round and to the back.
That would be interesting, yeah.
Because I did feel that the fiddle yard on Making Tracks was in many ways too big. You know, it was like you could have scenic on some of this side.
To an extent, but they were making very, very good use of the
They were
fiddle
Making
yard.
Tracks. But
Yeah.
so
But yeah, it's such an interesting layout.
mm,
Not because of necessarily the amount of detail, but because of the precision of the detail.
yeah.
You know?
John JMC, our guru of sound, says the rope is for them to walk next to the layout as the kids drive the trains along the Making Tracks layout.
No.
And when we were there,
When
they were
the-
just
yes,
pushing in
for
and
kids that are actually driving it, yes, that's fine, making sure the space. What we're talking about is the ones that just climbed onto the rope and walked along the front.
yeah, and then would prod things. You know, the old looking with their fingertips.
Yeah. If you're actually doing something with the layout, perfectly understandable. That's what it's there for.
There we are. Stevie Film says the latest incarnation, the back has a scenic section.
Interesting. In
So-
that case, we need to go and see it because last time we went, it didn't.
Because the thing is, it can't get much longer, otherwise it just won't fit in the venues that you would take it to.
Tim Maslin, we're not talking about the ones that have a minder. That's fine. What we're talking about is our experience when we were at Chester Cathedral,
And if you
there
look-
were kids just climbing under and
Yeah.
going around.
And the thing was, when you look at our onboard camera shots, you can see these kids,
Yeah,
and they're not being supervised.
yeah, that's the point. The ones that have been supervised, perfectly fine. Yes, Ben Tullett, the adults that point the layouts are even more annoying. Yeah, like,
Yeah, you
you've
think
grown
you
up
should know better.
knowing better, surely. This is the back. I thought I didn't recognise that overhead stuff.
Yeah, that's new. That's new,
That
and
is-
it is modelled on an actual place.
And it looks
I can't.
really good.
It's got a name, but I can't remember what the name is. But it's weird, isn't it? Flymo Chairman says, "Yeah, feeling the fuzziness of the static grass." I had that one layout, and some guys like, I squashed my static grass back, and I went, it doesn't spring back up. Oh, but I thought that... And it's like, well, you thought wrong. Get your hands off my layout and sling your hook.
Yeah.
And it does annoy me. It's like, I was brought up, don't touch other people's stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just respectful not to touch other people's stuff.
Yeah.
Road cutting, says Richard Swiderski. Thank you. Road junction.
Right. It is interesting. I like the fact that they're putting extra scenery on the back.
Yeah,
Just a nice little way of adding extra without actually having to add extra space.
Nomad Railway says, just finished insulating and plasterboarding the garage. Now a constant 16 to 18 degrees day and night. Layout building next. And you won't regret it. I think sometimes there's a lot of... Yeah, it's like, I want to build the layout. That's the fun bit.
Yeah.
And you've got to sometimes do what you might perceive as being the boring stuff.
Yeah. You've got to delay that gratification.
Yes. And you won't regret lining the thing. I mean, the first thing I did up here, was insulation, line it, a bit, and it wasn't until I had like a big lined and painted room. Yeah. And then I started building the layout.
I remember that. You had to come up here with a mask on and all sorts to make sure.
Oh, originally, yeah. Because, you could actually peer... When there was no insulation up here, you were literally just on the underside of the slates. Because the house was built in 1927.
Yeah.
And I marvelled at the fact that nobody had ever made use of the space up here. It was like, what? Where have you been? There's a whole room up here.
This looks fantastic.
You could actually look through the gaps in the slates and watch people walking past from inside. So you could imagine in winter it'd be freezing up here, and in summer
a bit chilly,
it was red hot. Oh.
So I'm just finding this amazing. The extra bits that they've added are phenomenal. There's a bit earlier on, we saw a bridge with some roads behind it, and like, I don't remember seeing that.
Oh, all of this is new. This is...
Oh,
nice.
He's got a ticket to drive.
And he's all right.
Lovely.
Tanith Velaquest says, I am incredibly late. Sorry.
A Monday clubber is never late, Toto Wagons, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks, Gandalf. And
that is
Mark
great to
Bentley
see.
says, just seen the Pride train. Brilliant. Well, we really enjoyed that.
They've got
absolutely. So
gillies and all sorts. That's nice.
Thank you for that. I really got into that, actually. We
that
watched,
was so good.
We just watched the full video once we
really,
chatted over.
Really shouldn't have.
Happy anniversary, Joanna Harris.
Happy anniversary to you.
I'm just looking back. I think I can't see where it was typed in, so I don't know what the anniversary is for.
The only thing my partner wants for our anniversary tomorrow is for you to wish us a happy anniversary on the Monday Club, says Joanna Harris.
Happy anniversary to you. Happy anniversary. We normally do birthdays, so we just improvise. To you. Happy anniversary to you. Happy anniversary to you. Happy anniversary to you. Happy anniversary to you. So there we are. I'm sorry, we normally do birthdays, improvising.
I really enjoyed that video. That was fantastic.
Ben Tullitz's question is, how long will it take for the Making Tracks layout to outgrow Chester Cathedral? I suspect if they set up 1, 2, 3 and now 4 all together, it might not fit in the cathedral.
Given the space that I remember from last time we were there, if they added an extra thing, that's it. That is full.
Yeah, I mean, there's only so much space. I mean, it's a big layout, really big. Well, it's I believe it's the largest portable model railway in the world.
I
Oh, my
still love
glasses
that
are fogged up.
they suggested it's portable. Like some guy could just go on and pick it
Yeah,
up.
it's portable.
You can't put it under your
Can I
arm and
just
walk
say,
off.
it's portable if you've got 30 dedicated people and a fleet of Luton box fans.
Yeah, it's portable in the same way that my house is portable. You can move it.
No, you can't.
It wouldn't be easy.
No, it's portable in the same way that a static caravan is portable. You can move it, it just takes a bit of effort.
Lamcock says it's his own birthday.
Oh.
Very merry on birthday to you.
Unbirthday. Unbirthday. What, are you getting younger?
I'm singing the song from Wizard of Oz. No, I'm Alice in Wonderland. Very merry on birthday to you.
Okay.
I can't do the sounds.
Yeah, Bo Minnick says, we run a modular layout. I think parents do not respect or know how much these models cost.
Yep.
I totally understand. Yes, definitely. I had a kid grab my Scale Train's Big Blow $800 model. His mother didn't seem to think a bit about it. Yeah, I've seen that a lot at shows. And I remember one of the first shows I went to was actually at the Manchester Bus Museum. I think it was LNYDCC when they used to have their show at the Bus Museum. And a guy came up, and I was exhibiting Grove Street Yard, which has a scrapyard made from lots of broken up bits of Tamiya and Parkside Dundas and Airfix kits. And he started prodding the scrapyard, like really pushing stuff, like, oh, is it glued down? Is it? And it's like, yeah, it is, but it won't be for long if you don't move your sausage fingers off it. And I said to him, you look with your eyes, not with your fingers. If you don't mind, don't touch my thing. And he started getting all high. I'm like, I pay good money. And it's like, get lost, mate. And
your ticket does not give you permission.
Doesn't give you
to
permission
damage
to
stuff.
violate other people's property.
Yeah.
And fortunately, they're few and far between. But when you do get one, it does leave a sour taste in your mouth.
Thankfully, the majority of people are decent and have been brought up right. It's just, unfortunately, the human brain remembers the bad experiences more than the good ones.
Yeah.
So we emphasise these things in our mind.
Yeah.
So next up, we have from Going to the Dogs a message saying, I sent the video in below a couple of weeks ago, but don't think you've played it yet. Quite possibly not. Anyway, here's the email, and let's have a look. It's a load haul, hauling loads. That sounds like my kind of title. Load haul, hauls loads. Just what it says in the tin. Let's have a look.
Okay. This is actually, this works really well, you know. Do you want a quick blast? No.
Load haul.
Hauler of loads. This was the like shadow privatization.
Right.
Mainline, load haul, Freightliner, and what else?
Budget and Scarpa? No, that was the actual document, wasn't it?
Rail freight distribution.
Freight distribution, yeah.
I have a feeling rail freight distribution was older, but certainly mainline, Freightliner, and load haul were. Oh, they're really nice. They're the Revolution Trains TEA tankers. The weathering on that's factory weathering you see on those, and it really is incredible.
I like that.
I
Suggests
believe
the existence of a bridge.
Yeah, we've seen this layout before, and we always comment on that bridge. I like the Budleer as well. You just see there at the left of the bottom girder, really nicely modelled. But yeah, I always do enjoy our visits to this layout. It's nice to see we're getting some different angles as well.
There's a lot of character to it. The colours are great.
Oh yeah,
The eye has a lot to take in, which is always nice.
Very nice
Rail
layout.
freight distribution was 80s.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking Rail Freight Distribution.
I love that station.
I'm sure Rail Freight Distribution was ended up being one of the shadow privatization companies. But yeah, you're right. Oh, Transrail, the 3 shadow privatized companies.
I thought we were Transrail.
I thought Freight. I honestly thought that Freightliner was one of the shadow privatization companies. But
Whoa!
Oh, look at that! That has been yes, busy.
We've just had we've just had a bit of an error.
Look at that! It's been deceitfully doing its naughty thing whilst we were distracted. James Petts, it's great to see you. James Petts is in, Gandalf. James Petts has finally turned up.
The Monday Clubber is never late to the wagons, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks, Gandalf. Flymo Chairman 1, thank you. Sharing that. Jenny in 3D. Remember, there's also, just don't get stuff lost in the tunnel. Whatever you do, don't push it through the tunnel like that. Otherwise, I will spend the next few years finding derailed wagons in there.
Fine, I won't touch it then.
Yeah, you don't touch it.
Alright then, I won't.
Yeah, you don't.
Then.
Yeah, what else?
This is so nice. The colours, the texture, it's nice.
Mike Wilson says, I do a few exhibitions each year with a model road vehicle layout, and I've had to start taking a 12-inch plastic screen to go around the layout to stop fingers and poking. It's like, I don't know, are people just not brought up as well as
No, they're not.
When
People
we
are
were
drunk.
kids, I'd have got smacked
People-
if I'd have been prodding somebody's exhibit.
People aren't allowed to smack the kids.
But it's like I've seen a lot of incidents where the parents just watch their kid destroying somebody else's stuff like they couldn't care less.
They don't.
And it's like what they need to do is actually they need to have heavies at these shows who come up and go, right,
To be honest with
you
you-
owe them money for damage.
To be honest with you, some of these places do need security.
Yeah, can you be careful?
many
The
times?
back of that chair
Okay,
is
fine.
very nearly destroying
Right,
my
okay.
church. Right. I need you to move so I can see
I am
when
trying
that
my
comes
best
round.
to stay out the way, Jen, while trying to make a point on the show. So I'm
Yeah,
going up
I'm
there.
trying to get that to couple up, but what I don't want is for it to just like
Okay, you keep doing your thing and ignoring what I'm saying.
right now it's done it. Now we can yes, Cupboard Monkey. What did you want to say?
Right. Some of these shows need security.
Uh-huh.
Not just because of the people that will cause problems, but because of the amount of theft. How many times have we had the response from a show being, we lost X, Y, and Z. Has anyone seen this? Someone's taken that, and all of that. Some of these shows do not have adequate security. Full stop. And at some point, they're going to have to realise that they need some people going round.
And the problem is, a lot of these shows are put on by clubs, and it's security costs a lot of money.
Yes, it does, but they're going to have to deal with that.
Yeah.
Because people are actually saying, I don't exhibit anymore because of stuff like this.
Yeah, and you hear about one of the things that always mystifies me are traders when they've got the big table set out with lots and lots of stuff, and when it gets busy, you think they must have lots of stuff get stolen over a weekend.
Absolutely.
And it's like, who goes to a model railway exhibition just to thieve? Because like some people are like, oh, I'm gonna go to Wally and I'm gonna steal loads of stuff because I'm a cretin. And they probably have that conversation with the mirror. But you do wonder, like Sidetrack 77 says, heartbreaking when someone gets items stolen off their table or layout. And there was a thing actually, Mike Edge with Judith Edge kits. He had some examples of his kits built up, painted and finished on his stand. And it's a few years ago now, some of those models got stolen. And they're obviously his. As he said, it's like, it's my kits that I have made and painted and finished. And because they sit on a trade stand, there's no motor or anything in them. And they turned up being sold a few years later. And there was quite a hoo-ha about it because it's like, it's my stuff. I'm not sure how that all panned out, but effectively, the person who was selling them was trying to claim, oh, I bought them in good faith. But it's like, yeah, but they're stolen. They were stolen at the start, and you bought them without clearly making adequate checks.
Yeah, at which point you haven't taken free, as the legal statement is.
Yeah.
You could the chain of ownership only breaks if someone has done due diligence and therefore takes free.
Plymouth North Road Station says it's horrible. We had someone removed from a local club that stole 3 engines from a club member's house. We all felt mortified and sad afterwards. He's now called Fingers. You do. Unfortunately, there's there are people out there who just steal and steal. They're horrible people, and it's unfortunately ruins it for the rest of us.
Absolutely, it does. Melchester
Model Railway says, when I went to Ali Pali, Jenny had abandoned her layout to go shopping. Somebody could have done some sheep rustling. I had Les. Les was supposed to be there. He hadn't gone shopping as well, had he? But no, we took it in turns to go walkabout.
Okay.
Yeah, James Pett, our resident lawyer, our resident barrister, I believe, being bought in good faith is no defence to returning to the owner unless 6 years has passed since the first good faith sale.
Yeah, this one I was trying to dumb it down for the show, but yes, James is absolutely right to bring in the actual things you're required to do.
Yeah, you basically it's you're receiving stolen goods. You may not know they're stolen goods, but they are still stolen goods, and they belong to somebody else.
Yeah, that's it. They belong to someone else. Somebody already owns it.
Valley's 56XX says we have a dodgy member in our model railway club who we don't trust at all.
So why is he a member?
The problem is, I think, and it's more than just in the world of model railways. I know from like talking to my dad, one of the things he's involved with, they've had issues with people. I know the Scouts have had issues with people helping themselves.
Every organisation's had someone.
Every organisation out there has these people turn up trying to make on and steal stuff and fingers in the till sort of thing. And unfortunately, it's just you've got to kind of be on your toes. And is this something that is a new thing? I don't think so. I honestly don't think so. In fact, thinking back to my childhood, I remember there was always dodgy people you kept an eye on because you knew that they were light-fingered. I don't think it's a new thing. I think maybe because of social media, we're more aware of it. Because whereas before, back in ye old days, before the internet, you only knew about what was going on in the sort of your little area.
Yeah.
But now you know about what's going on at the other end of the country.
Or the other end of the planet.
Yeah.
And as a result, we feel, because our brains, like I said earlier, emphasise the bad.
And it gives a perception that there's more
Yes.
of this thieving going on. When actually, this was probably always the case. It's just you didn't know about most of it.
Why is he still a member? You need at least some proof to get rid of someone, not just everyone feeling like he's a dodgy one. Not in a members club, you don't.
Yeah, you get like people just blackball them.
If the members say no, that's it.
Sarah Davis says, I got robbed on Saturday afternoon.
13 quid for a pulled pork bap and chips, and they gave me something else.
What did they give you?
A slap, a funny look.
Food poisoning.
Barry Johnson has sent in a message saying, please find below a link to a recent video of Barony Town Hornby 00 layout, which has HD track and rolling stock, but modern scenics. Okay, he's also added some Monday Club references. Let's have a look.
Raymond Lang says, Die Mann hast gestohlen mein Loch. The man has stolen my... I don't know what loch is. Right, anyway, let's
have a look.
So, what? I can't read the name on that.
Barony Town.
So, helicopter.
That is huge.
It's 3-rail. Hornby 003 rail. Can we spot the TARDIS? I'm really looking now.
I'm going to say yes, but I can't.
There at the back. Is that it? Up on the top of the retaining wall.
I'm not sure. It might be, yeah.
Just gone off at the left.
I think it might have been, yeah.
Yeah. Hornby 003 rail. I love 3-rail. This is my childhood. Oh, and that's actually quite a rare brake van. That red brake van, if that's genuine Hornby 001. They're quite rare,
look at that turntable.
Oh, yeah, Hornby 00 turntable.
This is lovely.
So
there's a lot of character to throw.
Gronk it up. Gronk it up. Gronk it up. Hashtag not a cult for legal and tax purposes. So where's the... let's have a look. Oh, there. Monday Club wagon.
Yeah.
There was the PAL brick. I saw the PAL brick.
That's not a PAL.
There's another one there in the coal yard.
Oh.
They
move.
I love those.
That is fantastic. I love it.
Are they from somebody like Knock or Prizer, or did you make them yourself? Because I love that.
That is so cool.
Class 08. Gronk it up! Gronk it up! Gronk it up! Hashtag not a cult for legal and tax purposes. Nigel Cole says,
so
Die man
good.
hast gestohlen mein Loch. Equals, the man stole my locomotive.
Who's this on the footplate at the pub? Would that be Jenny Kirk?
Yeah. Yes!
It's a Jenny
Yeah.
Kirk!
Is that you? Is that Craig? Is that you, Craig? Oh, Iron Horse Railways. Oh, referee. James Pett says cute.
Oh, this is so good.
Oh,
Thank you so much for sending this in.
Oh, come on, I love Hornby 00.
Beep beep.
Yeah. Oh, is that the Bristoli? Is that the Monday Club?
It's a Monday Club badge.
Yay! With an A4
Oh,
and
this
Pullmans.
is so good.
There'll be car number 74, Aries, and car number 79 if they're Hornby 001s. Bo Minnick says some people have always been thieves. That's the way the 3,000-year-old 10 Commandments say thou shalt not steal. Oh, I love it. Thanks, you big oaf.
Love it.
Ah, they're talking about you.
Oh, this is so good.
TPO.
I love the
look,
multi-angles.
it's gonna... There! It did it! It's the working TPO set. Oh, I always used to find the mailbags used to launch into the deep blue yonder. JK favourite and A4. Silver King! Silver King! I love my Silver King.
This is so good.
Oh, it just shows what you can do with Hornby 00. Oh. Yeah, Peter Jackson Cheelheath, great ideas for oh, is this 48158 or 48094? Or have you converted to 3-rail one of 48073 or 48109? See, I still know all the running numbers off by heart of the Hornby 00 locomotive.
This is wonderful.
This is a really nice layout. Iron Horse Railway says, was that meant to be me? I was laying track and heard an eruption of laughter at my expense.
Sorry, dude. Sorry.
Sorry, we were just reading what it said on screen.
This is an amazing layout.
Oh, Class 28, the Wonder Loaf. Yes.
The loaf.
Yeah, it's like, I wonder if it'll go. And it looks like a loaf of bread with the press flow cement wagons. Nice. Ben Tullett says, my dad has the working TPO with his Hornby 00 items. The little lead mailbags had a habit of just disappearing somewhere into the room, and the carpets gods went, we accept your sacrifice. Hey. Yeah, Valley's
so
56XX says, reminds me of my dad's layout. Nice.
I love the way that, yes, it's boxed in with the background, but the background adds so much character to it.
This is nice. It's like, it's one of the best presentations of Hornby 00 I've seen.
It's
Because
really
it's
nice.
using the Metcalf and the Super Quick really effectively
Yeah.
to really enhance everything. Now, I always found that the geometry on the diamond crossings could be a little bit awkward
I like that.
if you wanted to do a double track around an island platform and then go back. There is a way of doing it,
Beep, beep.
but you have to have a little stub siding.
This is so nice.
Oh, thank you so much. Really enjoyed that. Thank you so
That was
much. Just make
brilliant.
sure that
I am.
there we go. Anyone here have Tricks Express, says Raymond Lace. I was aware of Tricks. I didn't have any really. Hornby 00 was a bigger thing in the UK.
Yeah.
Ben Tullett says, to be fair, the modern Hornby TPO mailbags do the same. To be honest, they should have made them out of sintered iron or something, because then at least you could go...
Scented iron?
Yeah, because then at least you could go hunting for them with a magnet.
Scented iron, you could go hunting for it with your nose.
Yeah. No,
Sniff it out.
sintered, not scented, you
Have
wally.
you heard of this thing called a joke?
I did, yes, but that was definitely not what you were doing.
Okay.
Yeah. hold on. Let me just hose myself down.
Okay. So next up we have from Warbler Productions a message saying, "Evening, ladies, toasters, and all in the chat. Topsy and Gronksy are away today, by the way.
Yeah.
They're in the pool.
Yeah. Topsy's gone to have a bath. So if you see the lights flickering, that'll be him. Hey. Right.
That is a terrible joke, and you should be ashamed of yourself."
Yeah.
So he says, "I present here my latest video."
Yeah,
I don't know
Warbler-
why it's in this there.
Can I just say, Warbler Productions has already, on his 80 inches of plasma, spotted the TARDIS.
I present here my latest video. This time filmed on Thursday, the 8th of August at Atherstone Station, while I waited for a rail tour hauled by Royal Scot XLMS number 46100, which,
Nice.
due to a point failure elsewhere, was running very late. No.
Sidetrack 77.
It's never running late, nor is it early.
Yeah.
It arrived precisely when it fancies it. 68 minutes by the time it passed by. As I was waiting, I filmed some of the other workings through the station, starting with a late-running local service.
Sidetrack 77 says, LOL, the banter is real! It is! It is! That's why people love the Monday Club. You know,
'Cause we're-
accept no substitute. Also, don't forget to hit the like button. Consider sharing us to social media, and if you haven't already done so, then do subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. You can also check us out over on Patreon with a number of different tiers. We probably need to get rid of the highest tier because we run out of things to send. It's embarrassing.
It is bad. We need to do more.
Did you send some stuff out to our biggest Patreon?
He got the badges that he ordered. I need to get his size so I can send t-shirts and stuff.
Yes.
I need to
Can
do
we
it.
send him some books? We need to send him some stuff.
We've sent books.
Have we? Well, all of them?
No, I'll send the other stuff.
Yeah. Pim1234 says, now I am really too late.
A Monday Clubber is never late. Him 121234. Nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Oh, the lights are flickering. Topsy, come on, out of the bath.
Splash, splash, I was taking a bath all over the kitchen floor. This is really realistic. The way he's got this motion, on the animation, that the hair and everything on that woman as she walked past.
Zoe,
like-
you're about as funny.
When you
As
render
being-
that in a computer, it doesn't work as well as in real life. So getting it done in proper animation is amazing. I'm really impressed.
Zoe, you're about as funny as a damp fart in a spacesuit.
You love a fart in a spacesuit.
No, here we are, the main
Beep, beep.
feature. It doesn't go beep beep.
It can go beep beep if it wants to.
It doesn't want to now. Leave it alone.
Raymond Legs is starting a rival cult here.
Wonder loaf, wonder loaf, wonder loaf. Hashtag
Not a
not a
cult.
cult for legal and tax purposes. Sarah Davis says we'll be ordering a pin badge on Friday, if I remember.
Get it
We'll
quick, 'cause,
remind you.
We're down to half stock.
Oh, we're less than that. The pin badges have sold really,
They
really
have.
well.
Thank you so much, guys, for
absolutely. Actually, I mean, and whoever it was who actually who said, "Will you do a pin badge? Will you? Will you? Will you?" Actually, thank you for badgering the cupboard monkey because now we've done pin badges.
beep.
They've actually been
He's
one
got
of
his
the.
hazard lights on.
No, that's just a mismatch between LEDs and the frame rate of the camera. Which, incidentally, is also the reason all the containers look like they're leaning. They've got the gangster lean on. Look at them.
Actually, that's not a frame rate issue. That is due to the way the capacitors work.
Well, it's because of the way that it's like a bit like our CRT scans.
In a certain extent, yes.
Yeah. For people who what's that? Zantek says damp fart in a spacesuit, ruffle. Hey, just imagine those two people who were stuck up on the space station. What if one of them gets really bad gas?
It really is upsetting that they're just going to leave them there for months.
Well, it's either that or it's like, I suppose it's a case of we really don't want another. Which was the one that was it Columbia that the heat tiles were damaged?
Yeah.
And they spotted that at the space station, but still came back in it, and it burnt up. So I think it's an abundance of caution. So
I
from their
understand
point
that,
of view,
but
it's like, well, you know
These
what?
guys have got 4 days worth of clothes, 4 days worth of supplies, 4 days worth of air. And I understand the space station can provide some of that, But come
How
on.
do they wash their clothes in space? I tell you what you do. You hang it outside the airlock. It'll be good.
No, you don't put it outside the airlock.
But all the bacteria will
Let's just
die.
Let's just irradiate all of our clothes.
No, but seriously. It's like, basically, if you put your clothes outside the airlock, just have them flap, well, I would say flapping in the breeze.
Flap about in the breeze.
Just sort of like, outside. But surely, like, all the bacteria would die.
No, that's the problem. They don't. All the experiments show that some bacteria can survive it.
Oh, yeah, but if you have it
And
facing
now
towards...
you've got mega bacteria in your pants.
No, because you, like wave them at the sun and they'll get a bit of solar radiation.
Oh, great. Now they're rich.
Oh,
Active
fine,
mega bacteria
fine.
in your pants.
Fine. Wear poopy pants for the rest of
Wash
the 8
them.
months. In what?
In the stuff in the space station.
There isn't stuff like, oh, I'll just fill this. All the contents of the sink have floated away.
You put it in a bag with the powder and you shake it.
No,
Shake it.
can
Shake
I just
it,
say?
baby.
Can I just say? Washing your pants on the space station would be a bit like this.
Stop it. There we go.
See? Oh, look, somebody washed their pants in space and you got wet. Anyway, meanwhile, back at the ranch.
Okay, it's 10 to 9, so we've got time for one, maybe two more. Thank you so much, Wobbler, for sending that in. And thank you...
James Pett says, note to self, never be an astronaut. I don't think you wake up one morning and go, oh no, I'm an astronaut today. I think they kind of give you a lot of notice.
Is it like jury duty?
It's like, surprise! You're going to spend 8 months in space trying to get your pants clean. Oh. But on the plus side, presumably, because they're technically out of the country, they don't pay tax on their pay.
Okay.
There's got to be some perks. Marcus Muggins says, I think they have disposable pants on the space station. Yeah, but 8 months worth. Sarah Davis says they did a whole thing on the Big Bang Theory where Howard designed a toilet to be used in zero gravity.
Yes, a
But he
zero gravity
didn't
space toilet.
Yes, but he didn't factor in the robustness of the potato-based diet of the Russian astronauts. Right, anyway, meanwhile, back at the ranch...
So next up
Sorry, we went. There's a tangent. We were supposed to be talking about heat. Does it affect your modelling?
I think
no,
it
but
does
it can
because
make you
you
rant about pants on the space station.
Yeah.
See,
I
this
think-
is what heat does to
Exactly. And I think we stayed on topic by demonstrating the problem. A stank suit.
you. Ah.
So,
It's
next
like,
up we have...
oh, your fart smells. Just crack a window.
Well, it'll certainly go where. So next up we have Knockers Lane.
Okay. I'd forgotten what we were doing for a
Oh my
moment.
goodness, you just can't
Best
take you anywhere.
Monday club ever.
So much of this is going on YouTube Shorts.
Yeah. Well, you get them out there. You're supposed to be. Can I just say, we're designing the 4th and the 5th Monday Club wagons. The answer will be Daypol. So we're going to be
love
trying.
this.
Can I just say, this is really nice, actually. Underground stations.
Underground,
A really, really nice
free.
way of. I'm really tempted to put in an underground station somewhere.
I love the fact that he's got working station indicators. That was wonderful. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. Really enjoyed
Oh,
that.
I forgot to link. There you go. Knockers
Jordan
Lane link.
Hunter says this is great comedy. And Marcus Muggins says, Major Tom to ground control. I need a change of underwear. And yeah, Ben Tullett, heat makes you talk a lot of poo. Yeah.
Not sure about the percentage content of those drinks you had earlier. No, this is just heat.
Yeah. And they were zero alcohol, really.
They
And
really
yet,
were.
that underground station, I really did like that. I need to do something like that here.
I wanted to do an underground layout for so long.
Yeah.
My problem is getting the locomotives to do an underground layout.
The problem I've got is where would I put it?
Well, I was just going to put it in a box file. the Underground, a place you can legitimately get away with 3-rail track. You can get away with it anywhere just by telling people to bugger off when they ask about it.
Hey, don't swear. Come
What's
on.
What's that? Go away.
There's kids present. You for a start.
It's been a very long time since I was a kid.
Yeah. Valley's 56XX says, and the papers want to know whose pants you wear.
Yeah. Well, on Fridays I wear the Daily Mails. And I can wipe my arse with them afterwards.
But yeah, anyway, meanwhile, back at the ranch, I'm sorry, this is what heat does. You can't model, you just turn into a raving
You turn into
loony,
Jenny.
obsessed about pants and the space station. I still say, if you put them in the airlock and evacuate all the air and just like point them at the sun or something for a bit, there's not much bacteria that's gonna I like crotch bacteria is not that
Do you
robust.
want radioactive super mutant crotch bacteria? Because that's how you get radioactive super mutant crotch bacteria.
Yeah, oh come on! But you licked the strontium-90 radioactive source in A-level physics, and it
I did
didn't
not.
do you any harm.
I did not. It was university. Get your facts right. I actually did experiments.
Didn't you accidentally get hit with some kind of beam of something?
Yes.
Many times.
Yes. It turned out that the radiation source on the X-ray machine I was using had a crack in it. No one had noticed, and I got
Was
radiation.
there not? Hold on. Like, if that happened in this day and age, there would be like major poo-poo hitting the fan.
Yeah.
So what do? They just go, just don't tell anybody.
Yeah, just keep it quiet. It's fine.
Can you pass the seaplane that's squashing my grass over here so I can get rid of it? Right, are we watching another video
Yes.
or are we just
I was trying
listening
to get
your
I
brain?
was trying to get through all this. So we got from Richard Swiderski. Hi Jenny, Zoe, and hope all is okay. A short video of my disaster video filming HST set passing Lostock Graham in Cheshire on the Mid-Cheshire line. Okay.
Right on track says Jenny, are you going to get this year? I
Hopefully.
I don't know. I think we are, but I'm not sure. It's like I just check what I'm
To
doing.
be fair, even if no one's saying come along and help us, I think we should go.
Yeah, I mean, like, I know we've sort of like said, oh, wow, a bit expensive, but everybody moans about price. But if Bachman wanted me on their stand, I'll be there. I'll be there. It's like, hello, everybody, buy these 08s, really good price. No, so we jest, but actually, I'd love to do. I think that some of these model rail shows need to do like panel events. I think people
I
would
love to
that.
do that. Yeah.
And we were thinking about this, the idea of a panel event. You've got your MC, it's like, and it's not like, but it's actually, you have a panel of people, and you can have set themes. So you can have people from different manufacturers on, and you can talk about, model design, that kind of thing. YouTubers as well. I think people find that quite interesting. It's like we've got 4 different YouTubers, and we're going to talk about YouTube because everybody's got a YouTube channel. It's like, yeah, look at me, I've got my YouTube channel. But it's like YouTube
really nice.
is
The colours
quite
are
a
great.
thing. That would be interesting. But then also retailers, have a panel event with retailers and talk about the
changing nature of
how difficult it is to be a retailer and what you can do to survive. And I think there's some retailers who've really struggled, and then there's others that seem to have embraced the new way of doing business. And like one of those, we had them in chatting. I suspect they might still be listening, but Great Eastern Models over in Norwich. One of the things that they've done is built up a really, really good, fun social media following. And that does seem to pay dividends. And, it's... retail has changed a lot. And I think, it's not that the likes of Amazon has killed the high street. It's that the high street didn't adapt.
The high street let it.
And what we've seen actually is sometimes you get retailers like Great Eastern Models that have adapted. They found a way of making it work in the modern age. TMC as well, Kerno Models, and actually there is a way through to be successful still, even in what is quite a difficult market.
And while we're talking about TMC, let's have a word from TMC, who are our sponsor tonight.
The Monday Club is proudly sponsored by TMC, the Model Centre. Check them out at themodelcentre.com. The website features extensive stocks of new models as well as selective pre-owned items where you can track down that bargain you've always wanted. Pre-order with confidence all of the forthcoming models from all the manufacturers. TMC also offer a renumbering and renaming service so you can get the exact identity of locomotive that you want. Why not also check out their value weathering, or go for something incredibly special with their bespoke service where you can choose from a more extensive weathered look right through to custom graffiti either off the peg or to a design of your choice. Check out TMC today at themodelcentre.com and start your model journey.
Thank you so much to TMC for
absolutely
sponsoring.
Without their help we couldn't keep the lights on. But yeah, it looks like people have really enjoyed the stream. And yes, James Pett, I know you said, well, I was lurking all the time. Well, you weren't listening, because I did say at the beginning that Sonic Models has announced an N-gauge version of the LNER A5 class.
Nice.
Which really, it's a great model, actually. I'm really pleased with my 00 gauge one. I actually ended up buying 2 of them. I'm quite tempted to buy more now that they're doing another production run. Yeah, it's been so
we've had a message from Joanna Harris saying, I built an underground model layout in my garden, but I forgot where I put it.
You'll have to dig up that garden.
Lovely.
Hey, what you doing? Right, 3B Rails. Jenny and Zoe, many thanks for another great stream. You're absolutely welcome. I really just flew by talking about your radioactive pants and stuff.
Yeah, radioactive space bacteria.
Can I just say, this is what happens when it's too hot to model.
Yeah, your brain sort of shorts out.
Yeah, you end up just going off at tangents. But yeah, garden railway modelling is definitely a thing in this way that I think, you know, if you want to put in a garden railway, and just remember, you don't have to be in the larger scales, although G scale, something like LGB works really well in the garden because it's a big scale, but you can get some really tight corners in, so it's the best of both worlds.
Isn't it actually garden barn? So it's actually designed for
something like Lehman Garten Barn.
Yeah.
Or something, or Grosser Barn. But it's designed principally for the garden. But you know, I use O gauge. One thing you have to watch with O gauge is that it does actually need quite a big radius for the curves.
Yes.
But double O gauge, you can do double O in the garden. Works really well. I used to have it in the garden, and we actually went and visited that really impressive double O gauge garden railway.
I have never seen a railway that was more impressive than that. That was just phenomenal.
Absolutely. But look, anyway, you're doing your stream tonight?
I am.
So Game Hammer Classic Gaming, the live streaming goodness will be continuing. And what are you playing tonight?
Whatever people want.
Did you ever play Crash Bandicoot with Crash Nitro Kart?
No, but I'll do it tonight.
Crash Nitro Kart. Go on. Bring the fun back to Game Hammer Classic Gaming Live. So
I'm also going to do the Bouncer on PS2 because I've had requests for that.
What is that?
It's an hour-long game.
What is it?
It's a strange role-playing beat-em-up by the people who made Tekken and Final Fantasy, and it's an hour long.
So you'll get a prompt to move on over to that stream, so your live streaming goodness will continue tonight. But until then, from all of us here, and Topsy, who's splish-splashing in the bath, bit of a bold move for a toaster.
Well, he's not plugged in. He's all right.
Oh, well, okay. I thought... but anyway, look, you guys take great care of yourself. It's been an absolute honour having your company. If you haven't already done so, do please tickle that like button and consider subscribing if you're not already subscribed. You can also check out our memberships, Patreon. We've got the full merch store down below, and those pin badges too. They are selling really fast. Thank you for your support.
Pin badges
we are going to try and bring out some more pin badges, but we're currently working on the next Monday Club Wagons. And I got rudely interrupted about radioactive pants or something, but we're going to try and do a budget one. I know one of the things that people said a lot about was the price, expensive, but we did sell out. We totally get it. So for the Monday Club Wagon Project 4, we're going with Daypole with one of their wagons. The answer is Daypole, and hopefully we'll be able to do that at quite a keen price. And we do hope that you guys will support that project. We haven't finalised the design, but once we have and put the order in, then we will sort out with that. But we're also going to try O-gauge. Now, I know a lot of people have said, oh, will you bring out an N-gauge one? At the moment, we're going to dip our toe in the water for O-gauge. The reason for this is because you can order a ridiculously small number in O-gauge. So it does seem to be the perfect choice to just dip our toe in the water. So hopefully Monday Club Project 4 and Project 5 will be coming out together. We're hoping to have them able to be available in the run-up to Christmas. You can never tell with these things, but that's where we're up to. But until next time, you guys take great care of yourself. Happy modelling. Bye for now.
Bye-bye. The train now departing is the 21:05 service to the International Space Station, stopping at Bolton Trinity Road, Mineth Tatus, Tatus Newydd, Grove Street Yard, that unnamed layout that Jenny said had a layout but it didn't actually have a name. Then on to Eindhoven, Pittsburgh, Sunhill, Butsfarting, Peckham on the Back, Hockleton on the Hill, all change at 3 knobs for Lord Hereford's Cock, and then on to the International Space Station. That's the 21:05 service to the International Space Station. If you go up to the loft today, you're sure of a big surprise. If you go up to the loft today, you'll never believe your eyes. For every train there ever was has gathered there together, because today's the day that Jenny does the Monday Club. Good night.
And incidentally, I know a few people did ask about what was running. Last week we got asked for kind of a diesel gala, and I completely didn't manage to... Oh, before you go, actually, could you top me off? Sorry, I'm talking to the cupboard monkey. For a drink! Yeah, somebody asked about doing a diesel gala, so it's pretty much all diesel all the time. The only exception being the Victory class that's on one of the ABC shuttles. I've particularly gone for a Gronktastic approach. As you can see, around the turntable we have an assortment of Gronks waiting, watching, judging, gronking. Class 40 on the turntable, class 13 in there, class 24, 71, 42, 76
trombones at the big parade.
There's a class 23 as well in there, 73, 07s. And running on the main lines, we've got a couple of class 25s running on an oil tank train with correct barrier wagons for a change. And we've also got another 252, which is the Hellion model on a parcels train. Somebody did ask about these earlier on. Yeah, there's a load of 50-foot Stania full brakes. These are all Bachmann models from through the ages. Plus Govs, CCTs, Southern Utility Van, and an assortment of Mark 1s. And of course the brake tender. Yeah, people noticed the brake tender with the chopper on the coal train, which has also got a fitted head of former banana wagons, recoded as tadpoles. These are available through TMC, the Model Centre. And that was actually quite common certainly in the 70s into the 1980s on unfitted coal trains going up the Welsh valleys to the collieries and coming back with the coal loads. You had some quite steep gradients, unbraked coal wagons, so they added in redundant banana wagons as a fitted head to give extra braking force. And these are a variant that TMC has in their range, so do check that out and let them know that I sent you. Let's turn this round. It's been that way round for ages. So there we are. There we go. And I've also been notified that I've got a parcel coming tomorrow from Ellis Clark Trains. I only ordered it on Sunday, and that was I couldn't turn down a bargain. So I've spent Patreon money on a new Class 42 warship. I think it's something like D831 Monarch. There are supposed to be 2 A4s coming. Unfortunately, there's been a lot of issues. I ordered them from Rails, and the first one arrived faulty. So very good about they generated return postage, sent it back, and I'm still waiting over 2 weeks later. So I have to say, a bit disappointed with that. So just see how it pans out. But my second A4 that I've also paid for in full is waiting for whatever they're going to do with the first one before they send it out. So a little bit annoyed that 2 locomotives I've paid for are still not here after, in one instance, 16 days since it was acknowledged as received back. So yeah, there you go. And yes, I have waited over 2 weeks, keeping my mouth shut on that. But it's very difficult to hide disappointment when, I'll be honest, it's not rocket science. I'm guessing that, I never do pull the big I am, but I'm guessing, they see my name and address and they know where it's going to. So if that's what's happened for me, then you do wonder whether that's happening for everybody. Right, I'm hearing a call from downstairs that Gamehammer Classic Gaming is now going live. So I'm going to just double check that, and then we're going to be moving you over. But from all here, it's been an absolute honour having your company. And yeah, Valley's 56XX Clark Railworks are always very prompt with their deliveries. And yes, Flymo Chairman 1, I would hope that they would pull their finger out, but the fact that I had to chase it up to be told it hadn't been actioned, as in I'd returned a faulty model and nobody had done anything with it for over 2 weeks. You can't help but be disappointed. And then I get another email today saying they'll get round to looking at it probably tomorrow. And it's like, well, I'm sorry, but it's disappointing. Are you good? Okay. So I'm going to be handing you over, but if you haven't already done so, do please tickle that like button, share the stream to social media, check out our full merch store, pick yourself up. I know that hoodies are a difficult sell when it's really hot, but there you go. And also we've got Patreon, all the links down below. But you guys take great care of yourself. Happy modelling. Bye for now.